16th consecutive year, the Lincoln community gathers tonight to fund a cure. For families like the Millers, who have had type 1 diabetes as a part of their lives since their early days of dating, all the way through raising a family.
This is the perfect day.
JDRF has been an essential part of the Millers' journey. A journey they all hope will one day mean a cure for Dwayne.
We were dating in college and he just became sick. He just kind of like he had a virus that never went away, and he realized after about a month or so he'd lost 20 pounds, and he's like, something's really wrong.
I had to figure out what this diabetes was all about. I was completely healthy up to that point, pretty much invincible, as most college students are. Lori, she kind of got thrown into this a little bit too, and so she's stuck with me, and we actually kind of worked it out and figured it out together. I mean, she was my support system too. I don't let the disease really control me. I try to be in control of it, and that's kind of has been a fault to me in a sense too. I try to do too much with it. Probably the scariest moment, it wasn't so much for me, but probably for Lori. Lived in Nebraska City and went to bed without checking my sugars first. And probably exercised that day, had not eaten as much as I thought, went to bed. And then the next day I remember waking up and a paramedic was standing next to my bed.
I remember looking and, thinking, okay, do I go with him to the hospital? And I have a tiny baby in a crib. And do I take her and do I stay?
So that was, it wasn't too scary for me because I didn't know what was happening, but I had seizures that night and Lori couldn't wake me up.
Our kids, especially our oldest daughter, Hannah, has really had to step up in a way that kids probably shouldn't have to. When I would be gone for meetings, or even, it was awful to be gone out of town. It was just terrifying to be gone out of town because I knew he couldn't tell when his blood sugars were dangerously low. And to ask an 8-year-old daughter to be responsible for her dad is a hard thing to do. And, in talking about her since then, it's a lot to put on her too.
The biggest thing I feel with JDRF is just knowing that group of people are out there trying to be a voice for your disease. With JDRF, we're actually educators for the doctors, and so JDRF is a way to help patients be more active as far as their own treatments and as far as how to better control their disease.
In Dwayne's situation, he was the first one his doctors had ever prescribed a insulin pump for, and we had to really lobby for that and tell him, this is great, we've learned so much about this at JDRF, we know this will really help, we want this. And after that point, he recommended it like crazy. And similarly with our continuous glucose monitor, we went to our doctor and said, there's this new device and it's fantastic. And with Dwayne's hypoglycemic unawareness, this will drastically improve our quality of life. We really need you to help support getting that through our insurance company. And so it was surprising. We were actually educating some of our medical community more. And I think JDRF has given us that knowledge base, that power to do that type of thing.
They give you hope, they inspire you as far as knowing that you're not alone in this. And it's amazing how much has happened over the last 20 years since I was diagnosed. A lot of it is without the support from people in this room and everybody that's involved with JDRF. A lot of this would not happen.
Yeah. My head and my heart are way up in the clouds.
To have a cure for my family would probably mean to have me and my family not worry about the future, I guess, and know that everything will be fine with him.
I think a lot of times type 1 diabetes is portrayed as a disease of inconvenience. They talk about poking their finger multiple times a day. They talk about multiple injections a day. They talk about really having to be aware of what they're eating all the time. And it is an inconvenience. It's a huge pain. But that's not why we need to find a cure for diabetes. And it's because it wreaks such havoc on your body that it's life-altering.
That's definitely a burden on the whole family. I mean, I feel I can control it myself, but yet it's definitely in the back of their minds too. My hope is just to stay healthy enough until there is a cure. Hopefully in the near future, it'll be here.
My love is alive, my love is alive for you.
For 16 years, Fund a Cure has meant giving families like the Millers a better life, living every day with type 1 diabetes.
This is the perfect.
It has also given them hope that one day the Lincoln community will not be gathering to fund a cure, but to celebrate that a cure has been found.
This is the perfect.